My startup was doomed until I used these 3 AI tools. The spreadsheet proves my startup was completely dead. My co-founder and I burned through all of our money over 6 months to build this project management tool. We were so confident we had a winner. We were solving our own problem. What could go wrong? But the feedback from our first 100 users, it was brutal. One person literally told us, "I wouldn't use this if you paid me." Can you believe that? Every massive startup is supposed to begin with a huge problem. We had just spent our life savings to learn that we de-solved a problem that only we had. It was the lowest I've ever felt. We were about to give up and email our friends and family that we lost all their money. But in a last-ditch effort, we tried something crazy. We used 3 secret AI tools that didn't just save our company. They showed us a multi-million-dollar idea we should have been building all along. And today, I'm going to show you exactly what those tools are and how we used them to go from total failure to getting paying customers before we even launched. Section 1. The 6-month hole and the brutal truth. We made the biggest mistake any founder can make. We fell in love with our own idea and built it in a bubble. For 6 months, we were coding nonstop, creating what we thought was a masterpiece. We were convinced its simplicity was a killer feature. Then we launched. We gave it to our first 100 users, friends, old colleagues, anyone we knew, and waited for the praise to roll in. Instead, we got nothing. Complete silence. Then the feedback came, and it was devastating. People, candid, confusing, lacking basic features, and my personal favorite, completely useless. The data was even worse. We checked our analytics, and nobody logged in more than once. The few who did left in minutes. People say startups fail because they run out of money, but we had a much bigger problem. We built something nobody wanted, which means we had no way to ever make money. Our idea wasn't just wrong. It was a catastrophic failure that cost us all of our time and money. My co-founder and I couldn't even look at each other. The dream was dead. Section 2. Tool 1. The brutal truth machine. Right before we quit, I had one last crazy idea. We had mountains of feedback emails, surveys, chat logs. At first, we just skimmed it and felt terrible. But what if, buried in all those complaints, our users were screaming the answer at us, and we were just too scared to listen? Trying to sort it by hand was impossible. We were too biased. We would have focused on the 2 nice comments and ignored the 98 that were destroying our souls. So, we used our first AI tool, which is basically a brutal truth machine. Think of it as a feedback machine that is physically incapable of lying to you. We gave it everything, every email, every survey, every brutal word. We did not cherry pick. An hour later, it spit out the analysis. The main number was a punch to the gut. 90% of all feedback was negative. But right below that number, that's where we found gold. The AI grouped all the feedback into themes. We thought people would complain about missing features, like Gantt charts or time tracking. We were completely wrong. The single biggest complaint had nothing to do with our features. It was about what happened, asterisk. After asterisk, the work was done. The AI found a secret pattern we completely missed. Users were struggling to communicate progress to their managers. People didn't want another to-do list. They were desperate for a way to make their work visible to their bosses without writing boring reports for hours. Our tool did the exact opposite. This was our aha moment. The AI didn't just tell us our product was garbage. It pointed us directly at the real million-dollar problem we should have been solving. Section 3. Tool 2. The customer need analyzer. So, we had a new theory. The real pain isn't managing tasks. It's making status reports for your boss. These felt huge, but after our last failure, we knew we couldn't be wrong again. We had 0 money and 0 time to fail. We had to be 100% sure. This is where we unleashed our second AI tool, the Customer Need Analyzer. This AI literally interviews hundreds of people for you, automatically. Instead of us talking to people, we sent this AI out to have dozens of conversations with professionals. We gave it one mission: find their biggest frustration at work. We didn't mention project management. We didn't mention status reports. The AI asked these amazing, neutral questions like, "Tell me about the most tedious part of your week," and then it would dig deeper and deeper without any of our bias. The results came back in less than 48 hours, and it was insane. The AI had conducted and transcribed 50 interviews. The pattern was undeniable. A huge percentage of managers and employees all complained about the exact same thing. That Friday afternoon scramble to build weekly status reports they at Ted Italiano, it felt like a total waste of time, but they knew it was critical for their careers. This AI gave us undeniable proof of a massive, painful problem. It gave us the confidence to make a huge decision. We weren't going to fix our old product. We were going to kill IT and build something new from scratch. CTA and that pivot, that complete 180, is what saved us. If you want to avoid making a mistake that could kill your company, you need to subscribe right now and hit that bell. I'm dropping more secrets just like this, and your support honestly helps me keep making these videos. Do it now. Section 4, Tool 3, the MVP Pivot Tool. Okay, so we had the idea. Manual status reporting is a soul-crushing waste of time, but our bank account was almost at zero. We could not spend another 6 months building. We needed a product in days, not months. For this, we used our third and most powerful AI tool, the MVP Pivot Machine. First, we dumped all the interview transcripts from our last AI into GPT-4. We prompted it to create our perfect customer based on real data, with their real frustrations and real quotes. Instantly, we had a perfect picture of who we were building for. Next, we asked the AI, what is the one thing we need to build to solve this problem? Its answer was ruthless. Only build a tool that automatically generates a status report by connecting to other apps. That's it. No new project management tools. No fancy dashboards. This focus stopped us from adding useless features that kill products. Finally, we used a generative UI tool to design it. We described the app in simple English. A user connects their apps, picks the projects they want to report on, and the app generates a clean status update. Within minutes, the AI spit out multiple high-quality mock-ups. They weren't perfect, but they were 80% there. We tweaked them and had a finished product concept for our developers in less than a day. That whole process from customer profiles to feature lists to UI mock-ups took about 2 days. The old way would have taken a month. AI compressed our entire pivot, letting us start building the right product right away. Conclusion, just 6 weeks later, we had a working version of our new product, Status Flow. We showed it to some of the same users who called our first product useless. This time, their reaction was insane. They were excited. They got it immediately. And get this, before we even had a website, we had 10 companies signed up and paying for our beta. 10. We went from completely dead to making money. Looking back, these 3 AI tools gave us superpowers. The first tool gave us the brutal truth when we were trying to ignore it. The second tool found the real million-dollar problem without our bias getting in the way. And the third tool let us design and pivot to our new idea at lightning speed. AI is giving startups cheat codes that used to only be for giant companies with huge budgets. But the tools aren't magic. The AI didn't save our startup. It gave us the insights we needed to save it ourselves. The real key wasn't the tech. It was finally learning to listen to the market. The AI was just a much better hearing aid. So if you're out there building something, I'm telling you right now, do not fall in love with your idea. Fall in love with your customer's problem. And use every tool you have to understand that problem better than anyone else. Now, go build something incredible. Thanks for watching.